Okay, right. Uh, Today we have discussed the nature of the communication idea and the nature of the communication. The mainly we can see seven topics in here. Mainly seven topics in here, and normally what are the topics that we can see according to the nature of the communication? Like the first thing, communication has aims idea. Okay. Communication has aims. Idea like the session will discuss what are the importance of the communication. Then mainly we can see two aims of the communication. As an example, I can tell you, you already know about the main two aims of the communication are the first one, making literacy, making literacy criticism. Okay, that's the thing. So, making literacy and developing criticism are the main two aims of the communication. You already know about that, but not only that. Some other very important aims are there. So, according to that point, what are the aims that we can see? They think about sometimes they're mainly developing criticism, making literacy ideas there, and not only that, you have to write down that. Simply what are the aims in here and aims already we can see four five aims are there and first you have to highlight that what thing the mainly seven topics are here though all the things come starting from communication. But the first thing is communication aims are the communication aims. So first you have to highlight what is aims. Aims, highlight the aims word, communication aims. According to the point, I can, according to the topic, I can explain what are the aims that you can see, but mainly just highlight the aims idea. Firstly, aims. And secondly, you have to highlight the symbolic idea, highlight symbolic, symbolizing, symbolic, that type of ideas, namely, normally we can use for what is symbolic idea in communication and symbolic, just highlight the symbolic idea. And the third one, contextual idea, context, that type of idea we have to discuss in these lessons because context is the background of the communication and normally we know a lot of things about the communication like we have to use the language, we can use the technology, we can use some kind of patterns, one way or two way, but it is so many things we can use to develop this communication system. So context ideas is that the context means the belongs. What are the things that we can use to communicate with someone? It means the background of the communication or the surrounding or environment of the communication. That is its point. You have to highlight that context word. Okay. Next one, communication has some kind of activity idea. Normally we know communication is a process. That process actually we can see sometimes step by step work. Okay, going into some step by step things. We can see communication is also a process. Okay, in there. Normally we know three main elements are there. Three main elements are there. This is the three main element idea. Sender, are there, messages, and the receiver. Okay. So steps are here. Two main steps are here. Okay. Firstly, communicate how to develop a message, then select the medium, then we can communicate with someone. That's the point. So step-by-step work is activity idea. In the activity point, I can explain what are the ideas for the thing, but get the point. Activity means a step-by-step thing. Okay, step-by-step work. Communication is a step-by-step work. That's the point. And after that thing, communication, heterogenesis idea, communication. Okay. And another similar name we can use for heterogenesis idea. Actually, the variations, okay, variations or varieties of the communication, okay, variations and the varieties of the communication, both are namely we can use to explain what is heterogenesis of the communication. It means what are the types that we can use to communication and what are the forms that we can use to communication. Types depend on the amounts of the receivers, forms depend on the needs and the requirements. That's the thing. So that type of things we can add to what the heterogenesis idea. Heterogenesis means the variations. What are the variations that we can see in the communication process? That's the idea about the heterogenesis. So, okay. Next one, already you know communication one way and two way idea. Just highlight one way and two way at point. One way and two way point. One way and two way point. One way and two way point. One way, recently I wrote a model in here. That model actually belongs to the one-way process. Okay, you can see the one side arrow in there. It means no reactions, but just communication, but no reactions or role changes. That is the point in here. Okay, one way as well as two way. Normally, proper communication system is two-way communication because one-way communication don't have reactions and role. But two-way communication have reactions and role changes. It really helpful to get the idea of what is successful communication that we have. Okay. So according to the communication process, one way and two way. Last one is communication power. You have to highlight the power idea. Power. Okay. Power. Okay. So what are the natures of the communication? Natures of the communication, and select two of them and explain that thing with examples if they ask. Firstly, you have to know what are the seven natures that we have. Seven natures means background ideas. Okay, what are the surroundings of the communication? What are the environmental ideas for the communication? Or what are the actually that background things? Okay, what are the useful things in the communication process? Okay, normally language, not only language. Now technology, that type of things also we can use. Experiences also we can use. So natures means what are the background ideas that we can see in the communication process. So how many natures are there? Seven natures are there. Seven natures means one thing. Aims are there. Okay. Aims are there. Next one, that's the symbolic ideas there. Symbol. Next one, some kind of activities are there. Okay. And that heterogeneous idea. Heterogeneous idea. And and one-way, two-way idea, two-way idea, power, not only that context idea also there, context. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So seven natures are there. Seven natures are there. Seven natures are there. In the exam, if they ask to write four natures of the communication, you can say this is anyone, no problem. Aims, symbol, activity, head one-way, two-way, power, and context. That is the point. But if they ask to explain, select actually two main examples, two topics you can select, and if they have to explain that thing, you have to use some kind of examples. You have to use some kind of mainly what are the points that we can see inside of that nature. So according to that thing, now we can discuss what are the inside ideas of this each ones, each nature types. Okay. Now, firstly, we can go to the aims. Okay, aims of the communication or aim of the communication. Okay, aim of the communication. Aims mainly we know. It means all the communication depend on some kind of a aim. All the communications depend on some kind of a target. Okay. Or all the communication depend on some kind of a objective. Okay. Target, objectives, or aims. Three things are there. But in here we use aims. No? So what is communication? What is communication? You know, exchanging feeling, thoughts, and informations to someone. That is the communication process idea. And aims idea. Communication aims. Communication aims, mainly two aims are there. Recently, I write that thing here. Mainly two aims are what that two aims. The literacy idea and the criticism. Already we know that the literacy and criticism. Okay. What is the meaning of literacy? You know that thing, but just we can write, write something, read something, or understand. Okay. That is literacy. Criticism means deeply analyze something. Deeply analyze something. Okay. And not only that, according to the media usage, we can develop another two literacy, another literacy type like media literacy. Okay, media literacy. And another one, criticism both have same idea. Media literacy, yeah. Media is totally different from this one, okay? In here we use three skills. One thing, to understand what is literacy. What is literacy? Three skills are there. Okay. We are now in the aims of the communication. Okay. Aims of the communication. Aims. So according to the aims idea, you have to get this point. Okay. What are the aims we have? Okay. And the seven natures are there mainly. We can see that thing in the top, the middle idea. Seven topics are there, aims are there, okay, symbolic idea is there, and the context idea is there, and other thing, activity is there, okay, and heterogeneous idea, and one way and two way idea, and power idea. These seven natures we have to explain in the exam if they ask. So nature means what are the belongs, what are the background ideas that we can see in the communication process. It's very useful to explain what is communication. And if someone want to properly communicate with someone, you have to use that background ideas, the language, pattern, technology, aims, symbols, we can use that thing. That's why these seven natures we have to study. So according to the seven natures, we have to highlight what the firstly nature's names. All the natures are in here. All the things starting from communication, communication, communication. But don't highlight communication, already we know the communication. But you have to highlight what are the topics, main topics. So the first nature is aim, idea, highlight the aim. And second one, symbolic idea, highlight the symbolic idea. Thirdly, contextual idea. Context means the background. After that, we can discuss the thing, but just highlight context idea. Okay. Next one, activities. Okay. And heterogeneous, this idea have another two meanings. You have to write down that thing there. Okay. Heterogeneous mainly, that is the academical word, but we can use another similar word for that thing, that is variations, or varieties. Okay. So write down that thing. Near to the heterogeneous idea. Sometimes in the paper they use variations idea or varieties idea to explain heterogeneous idea. Heterogeneous variations of the communication. Okay. Last two. Already we know communication have two types of systems, one way and the two way. One way actually we can't use as a proper communication because just one way, no? One way already just the communicator developing a message and select a medium and only sharing some messages to selected receiver and no reactions, no role changings are there. That is one way. But we know two-way communication is the best communication system or proper communication system in our communication styles. Two-way communication means two-way communication, the communicator develop a message and select a medium and exchange that into another selected receiver, and the receiver understand the message and analyze that thing deeply, then develop a message. In that time, receiver become a communicator because he or she develop a message. Developing message process belongs to one person, communicator. Then that receiver become convert that role to communicator. In here, previous communicator. Now, what is the responsibility? Take the answer and try to understand. So that selected receiver convert that role to a communicator. In previous communicator convert his or her role to receiver. So that is two-way idea. Okay. Already draw this type of model for that. SMR. Okay. Sender, message, receive. Okay. This type of model we call one way. Another idea, linear. Okay. This type of models don't have Right. Okay. Communication model in here will automatically react. Okay. Then this type of two-way communications are the most successful communication systems. Okay. Most successful communication systems. As an example, one-way communication system means think about reading newspaper or think about listening to the radio. Reading newspaper means just reading newspapers never react to your message. Listen to the radios or same like that. Radios always actually think about the radios never react to your messages. Sometimes if you dedicate a song or something from the radio chat show or something, then you can communicate with them, but it's rare, limited idea. All the peoples can't get that type of chance. It's limited and it's delayed. So think about two-way communication is not in here. There. And two-way communication is this thing, chatting or something. Phone calls or interviews or something. Discussions or something. Then you can see understand the message. Then they develop answer. Again they share that thing for you. Then automatically reactions come for that thing. So examples mainly keep it in mind. Was really helpful for explaining this thing. If they ask to write in paper, write down four natures and select two of them and explain that thing with the examples. You have to use this thing. You have to use this example for develop your answer creatively. Okay. After that thing, the one way okay, two way okay. Next one, power. You have to highlight the power. Power. This power is not the electricity or any other solar power or biogas or gas or not that type of power. But communication have a power. No? Communication power we can see according to two, three things. Firstly, communication can make an impact for the society. Think about mainly some single one person is there. One person here. Okay. After that, he or she express his or her idea with someone, and automatically it becomes an interpersonal communication idea. Firstly, one intra, and secondly, inter. Then that two persons communicates their ideas with the selected other four people. Think about. Okay. Selected other four people. Mhm. Automatically, we can see some kind of a group. Okay. So intra convert to inter, inter convert to group, then what happens? That is the foundation of what thing? Society. So society develop according to what thing? Intrapersonal attitudes and behaviors. And secondly, the trust. Thirdly, organizing idea. So one person is there, next two person, after that more than five people. That is the reason for developing society. So how we can say communication can't make an impact for society? See, communication is the main reason for developing a society. If the developing society is there, you can see everything cultures, provinces, and after that regions, countries, everything all over the world depend on what this type of connections. So power is there for develop something, promote something, making the popularity, making the publicity, that type of things, making using what that type of idea. Power is the point. Power is the nature to develop some kind of that type of society or culture or that type of thing. Think about that. Okay. Now, main seven natures are there. Aims are there, symbolizing ideas there. You can communicate with someone. And here you can see, normally think about these three words are using here, three, four words are using here, okay? But other all the things are symbols. It's really helpful for what to understand clearly. One person, two person, then more people. And put some arrows. Think about this. Each letter also symbol. Okay? Each, you know the alphabet, a single or Tamil or English or whatever it is, every language has some kind of alphabet. That alphabet actually depends on what? The letters. Letters are symbolic ideas. So collection of symbols we call alphabet idea. And after that the collection of words we can develop some kind of a meaning. So every word collect more symbols are there. Think a language, word or something. Think about it. So power. Mainly communication can develop the society. Communication can promote some ideas. Communication can advertise some ideas. Communication can develop the education. Communication can develop the literacy. Communication can develop the popularity. According to that, you can see so many things. That's why we call communication have a power. Without that thing, communication, without communication, no one can actually live. Recently, in the first lesson, we start the first lesson idea, and that first day also I explained you. And we can see some three main topics in the first lesson. In the first lesson also we have what? Beginning of the communication, expansion of the communication, importance of the communication. Beginning of the communication, I explained you 2 points in there: human's origin and the world's origin. Okay. Expansion, what type of idea? Prehistoric old age ideas to new AI, social media, networking now area. So prehistoric to new era is the idea about what thing? Is the idea about the expansion of the communication. Normally aims we discussed here also. So importance are mainly same idea about the aims. Okay, don't worry about that. But the beginning idea is really important in here. So power, communication have a power. Without that communication power, no one can live because think about we connected with all the times in society and the environment. Think about that thing. Our breathing, okay, our breathing also, living, okay, helping each others, understanding, sensitivity, humanity, organizing events or something. All the things depend on what thing? Some kind of communication usage. So thinking, creative writing, logical thinking, all the speaking, writing, dancing, acting, performing, sleeping also depend on what type of idea, communication. That's why it is the most powerful force in the world. Okay, we have discussed that thing in lastly, but now we can start what are the other nature's ideas. So, firstly, we can move to the what thing. Communication has aims. Okay, normally you know main two aims of the communication. Main two aims of the communication. Okay, what are the main two aims of the communication? Normally we know. First one, what the literacy is there. Okay, first important aim is making literacy. Making literacy. It means constructing ideas, developing ideas. You have to use your literacy to developing ideas, making literacy. Second one, Bhakti, developing criticism. Criticism. Okay. Making literacy and developing criticism. So, what is literacy? Get the point. Okay, we can see in here, mainly we can see in here some other importance and aims, but we have write that main importance in there. You can write that in here. It means this too. Okay, main two aims in the communication is that too, not these ones. Okay, main two things you can write in here. The examples we can write in here. Okay, then first part, literacy in here. What is literacy? Already you know, but just get the point. Literacy means what? Three skills are there. Three skills are there. Ability to what thing? Read, okay, write, and understanding. Okay. If someone can read, write something, or understand, it means that person have one thing, literacy. Sri Lanka's literacy rate 92% point two is actually really good progress than India. India actually have 62.3 type literacy rate. According to that thing in the South Asia, we are a good literate country. If you have education system is good, our teachers, our system, our syllabus, our nursery education, primary communication ideas, primary other all academical things are actually great. Okay. Sri Lanka also have actually world recognized universities. Now Sri Lanka's number one university is Colombo University, according to the rates of the last month rate. Now Sri Lanka's number one university is Colombo University. Second one, Shujawarthapur University. Third one, uh, Perak University. So what the thing actually, what is the thing that we can see in there? It means ranks are there, strategies are there. It means good literacy. Good literacy is there. Okay. Just think about literacy is that thing. Then what is criticism idea? What is criticism? Criticism you already know, but then the point. Deeply, if you can analyze something, okay, deeply you can analyze something. That is what, that is criticism idea. That is criticism idea. Get the point. But not only that, think about that. Now you have write this thing in the left hand side of the other aims, huh? Education purpose, sharing information, motivation, intake, socialization there. But you can write it here or your book, no problem. Or maybe write something in there also. But if you write this thing in your book, mainly write the topic communication aims, then write the other things. Otherwise, it's really problem to study after that thing. Okay. First, we put the topic communication has aims. Then you can move to the what thing, other domain, uh, aims and the objective area. So these two things we have to write down in there. Okay. As a main two aims of the communication. Okay. So literacy is here. Literacy means read by understand. Criticism is what deeply analyze some. But you can see, according to the media usage, we can see another type of literacy. It's called media literacy. Okay, media literacy. This literacy and the media literacy have totally different idea. Okay, media literacy and the normal literacy idea. Both have literacy name, but one literacy idea use media thing. So what is the difference between this literacy idea and the media literacy? Literacy, literacy depend on three skills now. Read, write, understand. Three skills are there. Only three skills are there. Okay. But media literacy depend on four skills. Four skills are there. And that skills, not this type of things. Okay. You have to write down that thing. Okay. Literacy, read, write, understand. Media literacy in the first lesson also we discussed that point, but you can write that again. Media literacy have four skills like this thing. First thing, analyzing. Analyzing. Okay. Second one, evaluating. Evaluating. Next one. Okay. Analyzing. Evaluating. Next one, creating. Creating. Create something. Creating. And last one, utilizing or utilizing. Utilizing or utilization. Utilizing or utilization. So in the exam, if they ask to explain what is the difference between literacy and media literacy, please try it. Literacy have three skills, but media literacy have four skills. That is the main difference. That is the main difference. And what are the main two aims of the communication? Mainly making literacy. It is media or literacy, whatever it is, literacy means literacy. Ideas are changed, but literacy word is same. So, firstly, literacy developing. Secondly, criticism developing. That is the main two aims of the communication process that we can see. Right. Now we can move to one thing. What are the other aims or importance of the communication? You can see five, six main importance are there. I put that into the tube. You can see them. In here, other aims. The first one, education purpose. Just highlight. Education purpose. Education purposes. Education purposes. You can write some example for that thing. Education purposes. Education purposes like this. Write down. Examples. You can write that thing near the education purpose word, then put a dash and write down. Exams are there. Exams. Communication thing, but we use education purposes. No? Exams are there. Okay. Exams. Seminars. Why we have seminars? To develop the knowledge, polish that logical thinking or something we have to know that. Seminars. Workshops are there. Okay. Sometimes we use syllabus for that. Okay. Syllabus for that. Syllabus for that. That kind of things we can add what thing? Education purposes. Education purposes. We can develop some debates, we can develop some forums, we can develop some kind of academic forums or something, experience sharing or something, that type of idea. So education is some kind of a purpose. That's the idea. So next one, second part. Second one, we can see sharing information. Just highlight that. Sharing information. Sharing information. Normally in the communication, mostly use one thing, sharing information. Sharing information to select someone. That's the main thing we do. Okay, sharing information. In sharing information ideas, Firstly, you have to know what are the informations. Informations we discussed, okay, in that first page of this second tube. Informations actually a collection of some kind of symbols, ideas, uh, facts, and figures, that type of things. Colors, shapes, so many things are there. But it's a collection. Okay. Shared informations means sometimes formal information, sometimes informal informations. But informations are informations. Okay. Sometimes we can trust, sometimes we can't trust it. We can't trust. Okay. So information share informations. Put a bracket and write this thing. It means one thing. Facts. Okay. Figures are there. Facts, figures, colors, shapes. Okay. Thoughts, thoughts, factual or social informations. Factual and social information. Main two informations are these two. Factual and social informations. Factual and social informations. Factual and social informations. Factual and social informations. Right? Information is a collection of ideas, thoughts, colors, shapes, signals, or symbols. That is the point we have to get. In the IT field also we can see information communication technology. So without information, we can't do the communication. And if you want to communicate with someone correctly, directly, and speedily, you have to use technology. That's why ICT name comes Information Communication Technology. Firstly, you have to know what is information. Secondly, you have to know how we communicate that thing. Thirdly, we have to know what are the medias we have to use to communicate with someone. So that's why information communication technology comes. In this subject, we use communication and media studies. Okay, information now we have. Now we have to know how to communicate with someone. And lastly, we have to study one thing. What are the media that we can use to communicate with someone? That's why communication and media studies in this lesson. Okay, in this lessons, media. In this 12th syllabus and the 13th syllabus main focus for developing the communication and developing the media identities and something. Okay, that is the point. That is the point. Right. Next one, motivation. 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 Motivation is some kind of working. Motivation is some kind of encouraging others. Okay. Developing the other people's thoughts. Appreciate the other people's qualities or something. That type of idea. Okay. That type of idea. Okay. Motivation is the main process of the communication. We can write that thing somewhere using red pen. Now, in the exam, if they ask, what's the main purpose or main usage of the communication is motivation. Okay. As an example, I can tell, if you ask some question from someone, you what is the reason for that? You want to answer, and they have to make an answer. So answers we want. That's why we ask some questions from someone. That is motivation. You motivate them to develop an answer. Okay. Mostly we can see advertisement and that type of things for the motivation. But not only that, think about it. Why you ask some question to someone? You have to know some answers about that questions. That is motivation. We can see so many motivation speakers are there. So many motivation quotes are there, so many motivation views are there, videos are there. But get the point. Totally idea is this thing. Media or communication can motivate the people, and that is the main process of the communication. Literacy and criticism, okay, no problem, that's main aims. But what is the main usage of the communication? Main one is motivation. Main must motivation. So highlight motivation and write this point for that motivation. Okay, means five. You can motivate someone using advertisements, ads, right now. Ads, it's fun. Celebrity characters, celebrity characters, characters, celebrity characters. In the advertisements, they use celebrity characters to develop this product or service ideas. Okay, characters, celebrity characters. After the hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams mostly in the advertisements they use. As an example, your dream vehicle or dream house or something. They develop the advertisement according to that point. It means if you want a car, if you want a vehicle, please come and join with us to get a finance or something. Then you can easily buy a vehicle with this type of percentage monthly installment. Think about that. So, firstly, you want a car or vehicle, then directly you go to that finance company or bank or something, you take a loan or finance. Then after that, you can, if you can pay, you can pay that thing with month by month. Okay, but sometimes the financial companies or banks motivate the people because they want the business. They want some kind of profit. That's why they motivate. That's the idea. Most of the people think they try to help you. They give the service from free. Yeah. Because if they do that thing freely means that is the idea. Why they develop this type of things freely? Because they want a crowd, mainly full crowd for their purposes, and they want a profit. That's why they motivate. Reality shows, mega dramas, teledramas, music videos, chart shows, presenters, that type of talking or something. All the things have some kind of motivation. All the things have motivation is a must in the communication. Informations are there, we know, yeah, but motivation we use same in normally our day-to-day life. Motivational things, think about speech and quotes, videos, that type of things we can see. But all the people use motivation now. Also, in here also, we motivate the people, we motivate the students to take a pass, go to the university or something. What are the abroad universities that you can happen? We talk about that thing. Why? We want to develop a motivation idea for the next generation. Otherwise, there's no any other duties we have. Our duty is develop the other people's knowledge, develop the next generation ideologies and next generation logical thinking. It's really helpful for their life. Our life actually now also we all the things actually be done, but you have to do so many things in the future. So if we don't do that responsibility in here, it's really bad effect for your future. So my responsibility, not only mine, or the teachers or the lecturers' responsibility is developing other people's logical thinking. Now, according to the WHO, that survey, last 2 3 weeks they published that thing. According to 80 countries, Gen Z attitudes and logical view, Sri Lanka's not only Sri Lanka, countries are there. So many countries are there. Most of the students, most of the Gen Z, okay, most of Gen Z people identify they don't have much more logical thinking capacity than the past. Also, other people. So now the young generation is here. Young generations logic low. Sometimes now also actually mainly sometimes management think creativity to do. We actually give that chance to technology. As an example, you want to develop a graphical post or something. Now, people don't try to make that thing with their laptop or computer or any other equipment. They use smartphone for that thing. Why? They have AI, they have ChatGPT, they have Google Gemini or something, Nova AI or something. Then they put their ideas to the ChatGPT or AI Gemini or something. Automatically, that app, that ChatGPT or Google Gemini or something, create the image, create a graphical, perfect quality image for you. Then your creativity goes down. Okay. We also use AI technologies, no problem for that thing. But firstly, we think about our creativity. We use ChatGPT or Gemini or something for our purposes with our knowledge, not only the mobile phone knowledge. Think about it. So think about is a very important thing. Why the ChatGPT or Gemini or that type of things they make it easy for the society. But the problem is that easiest things are that thing sometimes something happen. Electricity problem, solar power problem, mobile technology problem, if it comes, it's a bad effect for the future. Why? Because nowadays kids, they can't understand without technology how we do this. That much they addicted for the technology. That's why motivation is a big thing in the communication. This motivation, this company is Mobitel, or Dialog, or ChatGPT, or Gemini, whatever it is, they always put some advertisements for their media partners. But that is the point. Every day you have to put something. If you have a business or something, if you have some kind of a service or something like this or something, you have to promote that thing day by day. Right? That is the system. Okay. That's the system. That's the system. So think about motivation is the main purpose of the communication process. And you identity and say it characters, hopes, and dreams. And other thing is needs and requirements. Needs and requirements. Your needs and requirements. Needs and requirements. Okay. It's a must. Okay. And news they develop according to that thing. Documentaries they develop according to that thing. Videos they develop according to that thing. Films they develop according to that thing. Book they print according to that thing. Social media usage according to that thing. See, think about motivation that much really important. That's the point. Now the last two. Entertaining. 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 Entertaining means some kind of this type of idea. Entertaining, you can use so many things for entertaining. Just try this. Watching films or something, films, okay, films. Listen to the songs or something, listen to the songs or something, right? And playing games means not only the traditional games, nowadays people use for computer games, so mobile games. Okay, traveling, photography, okay. This type of hiking also, think about that. That type of things we use for what thing? To develop the idea. This what is entertaining actually. Entertaining. Entertaining actually leisure with the pleasure. Leisure and if you have a leisure time, if you can use the leisure time for positive thing, developing the positive pleasure for your training actually depend on the pleasure with the leisure. Idea is if you have a leisure time, any doubts are free, totally free. In that time, for a good thing like this type of things, watching films, listening songs, playing games or something, traveling, photography, that type of things are good, no? If you can put your time for that, it's a good entertainment. Entertaining is not on news, so no, not news. News is also music videos or song. They understand it's entertainment, leisure. That's a good point. Not the pressure. Then think about pressure is a problem. Pressure is a problem, but pleasure is not a problem. So pressure, if you develop some kind of idea, if you use your time for the developing other people's pressure or something, that's not entertainment. Think about smiling, laughing, helping each others. Yeah, this type of traveling or something very happiness thing, happy mood idea, relaxation is there. Okay. So if we use our time, valuable time for that type of thing, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the entertainment. So entertaining, we can use this type of things and you can write radio, television, that type of things also because in the mass communication, technical organized communication system, mass communication, in the mass communication, we can see entertaining is the number one thing. Entertaining is the number one thing. That's why mostly teledramas are there. That's why mostly back-to-back songs are there. In the past, we can see chart shows are there. Chart shows, it means you can dedicate some songs from the chart. Weekly, they place the songs or something according to the popularity, according to the people's comments. Then we can we can SMS them of our favorite song. Then we can dedicate that thing. And that type of things why they use because that is the entertainment factor. So mass communication may depend on entertainment. That's the thing. News we can see, but news is not every time. Sometimes some channels use live at 55 things serious. Yeah, that hourly they publish some no, news or something. It's not a problem for the entertainment because you can see movies are there. You can see another countries sometimes teledramas are there. We dubbed teledramas or something, and you get so many cartoons are there. After 3:34, we can see so many cartoons in the channel. They dubbed that thing. It's not a Sri Lankan cartoons or sometimes India, sometimes European ideas, but they dubbed that thing and they put that. That is entertainment idea. So entertainment means making pleasure in your leisure. That is the point. Making pleasure in your leisure time. That's the point. Okay. Now the last one, socialization. 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 You can see the idea in the name also. It's not a problem. Socialization. Now, recently I told you how to develop a society, how to make a society, how it happens. I told you recently. I draw something in here, like what this thing is intra person, one person is here, intra, and selected another person is here, and after that thing, some few people also join with them, then automatically become one thing. So that, okay, this is the idea. Think about it. So this is the idea. And the socialization depend on that point. Socialization, society-based thing, society-based thing. Mainly we can use, please you have write down that thing in the book. Oh, I think this area is not enough for that thing. You can use your book. Society, it means socialization. 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 Socialization depend on what the two foundations. Do you have read on that? Shortly, right? Two foundations are there to socialize with the society. Okay. First one is personal. It means your emotions, type thing, emotions, targets, dreams, that type of things are personal. You socialize with society using your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts. That's the one. Second one, social. Social. That means tradition, culture, family background, that happens. You socialize according to your tradition. That is social foundation. You socialize your all the ideas according to personal emotions also. That is personal foundation. So two foundations are there. These two things you have to write. With the subtopic, okay? Two foundations of the socialization is two foundations of the socialization is personal foundation and social foundation. With the why do we need examples? In the exam, they give some 1.2 page. Please, lastly, add an example for each every passage. If they ask to write, please write that thing, but without some kind. If you write a passage, please after that thing, put some examples, at least one enough, because they can give some marks for that thing. So, exam, examples. Please write down two foundations of the socialization is personal foundation and the social foundation. Not only that, three forms are there in the socialization. Three forms of the socialization. Three forms of the socialization. Three forms of the socialization. What are the three forms? The first, it means ideal persons, your elders, okay, brothers and sisters of someone, okay, some role models you have, actors, actresses, sport people, that type of people are there. We imitate that people, we imitate that persons who are things to develop our behaviors. So, copying the behaviors, copying the attitudes or something, and we can apply that thing for somewhere, same like them. That is imitation, right? So mainly you can imitating. Imitating means mainly grandparents or something. Firstly, you imitate the parents. So close to you. So firstly, you imitate parents. Then other peoples you can imitate. Teachers, sport people, celebrity characters, actors, actresses, no problem. But when you imitate your parents, how to eat, how to dress, how to comb, that how to arrange hair style or something. Okay, how to clean something, how to sweep, how to arrange some things, how to draw, how to write, how to wear. That all the things actually you get that thing from the parents. Imitating others. It's a really good thing for socialization, right? Next one, imitating. First one, imitating. Second one, personalization. Personalization. Right now. Personalization. 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 Now you can see a word is there. Personal. Okay. Personalization. Personalization means this type of thing. See, it's actually really deep. Why? It's actually with your mindset. Okay. Depend on your mindset. According to that thing, we can see some kind of a mental problems are there. Right? This type of things right now. Tension is there. Okay. Tension. Okay. And hypertension is there. Hypertension. And anxiety, social anxiety, animal anxiety, technical anxiety. So many things anxiety. And lastly, you can see some people actually get suicide attempts. It's totally a problem. No? This form is the most powerful form in the socialization. And really, you have to deal with that thing very carefully. You have to use counseling system, so you have to use some kind of a treatment for that thing. Why? If some people actually overthinkers, overthinking also correct. Overthinking. They think too much. It's complicated. Be a relaxed person, be a relaxed thing. Yeah, they never use entertaining things. That's why entertaining we use that thing as a aim. Listen to songs, traveling somewhere, watching film or something. They never do that thing. Automatically, the tension comes. Automatically, depression comes. Why? They never put their valuable time for entertaining facts. Not much more. At least only 1 hour. At least only 2, 3 minutes for a song. Sing a song, dancing, whatever, traveling, just walking. Go to a gym or something for a workout. They never do that thing. Why? They think working is the number one thing. Yeah, we also appreciate that thing, working, responsible workers, but have to understand socialization have some type of that type of thing. So if you depressed with your work, mostly depressed with your work, that's not a good thing. It's harmful for your health. So using a one at least 5 minutes or 5 6 minutes for listening to a song, traveling sometimes, traveling, eat something good. Food also really good thing, right? It also can think about some depressed people or tension people facing for tension or facing for depression or something. Other thing that people eat more. Why? They try to reduce that pain with the something. Sometimes they arguing with other people. Sometimes they scolding for the society or scolding for the other people. Why? That is the system they reduce. Their okay. Sometimes you can say that actual problem. Please put your valuable time for some kind of that type of thing. Don't think too much sometimes. It's really effect for your personalization things. Personality issues comes after that thing. Sometimes some people can't understand other feelings. Some people can't, some people never helping each others, never help to other person. That things are people anxiety. It's people as because they fear to talk with someone. They have a fear to talk with someone. They have a shy to do something with society. It's a problem. So very effective thing, impact for socialization. Last one, last one, last one. Last one is the most popular thing because every time, every minute, we also do that. Third one is role play. Role play. Every time, every person play a role. This role depends on one thing, occasion. Okay? Occasion. Or the situation. Occasion, no situation. Role. Okay? Every day, every person, 6 5 roles they play. Actors, actresses, and modeling people professionally play the role. Okay? Their profession is role, but normally people also acting sometimes. According to this class or according to this session, I am a lecturer. I am a teacher. That's my role in here. Okay. Other peoples. Who are the peoples actually listening this thing? That people are his responsibility and my responsibility. Totally different. Okay. And my role is here that after this class, actually I want to change. I have to change my all the roles. Why? After this thing, there's no any classes, then I'm a normal common man, normal citizen, normal person. In the class time, we have to change our system for a role, teacher role or something. But other times, we don't want to maintain that because some people maintain that thing in other times also. It's actually getting depressed after that. So don't maintain that type of things because you have to play the situation according to the occasion. That's the point. Right? Then role play. Actors, actresses, modeling people do this thing as a profession. But we do this thing not as a profession. That's our life. That's day-to-day system. Day to day, you have to face so many things in the society. So you have to pay attention for that type of things. You have to pay attention for that type of thing, right? Okay. That's the three main forms of the socialization and two main foundations of the socialization. Okay, please keep this in mind. In the exam, if they ask to explain this thing, please explain all the foundations, all the forms, And the examples I gave you, really important. Right. Now we have to move for the next thing, symbolizing. Symbolizing idea. Symbolizing or sign symbols or same ideas. Symbolizing means some kind of a without word you can do something more than the words sometimes. Without words you can do something more than words. That is the point. Without words you can do something more than words. It, it's a nice story. Think about a color light to something. In a color light to something, you can see three colors are there. Red color, yellow or orange, no? Mixed color, okay? Golden yellow. Last one, gold. Okay? These three things are world standards, not our things. These three colors are world standards. Every country, same way they use red, green color, and the yellow mixed orange color. Red color indicate one thing. Yellow in here. Green color in your thing. Cool. International standards, international standards. So think about that type of things. So they use only a one color. Okay, color is there, color. But that color have a meaning. Stop. This color also have meaning. Green, ready. This color also have meaning. Go. So without words, you can communicate with someone more than words sometimes. Think about your signature or something. Your site signature. Signature also what type of thing? A symbolizing idea. Okay. Because that's your symbol usage, collection symbols. So that's your identity. Your handwriting, also the best example for what thing? Symbolizing ideas. Colors, symbolizing ideas. Your dress code, symbolizing ideas. Expressions of the face, symbolizing ideas. Formations, symbolizing idea. Mind things, symbolizing ideas. And flags, symbolizing idea. School badges, symbolizing idea. School colors, symbolizing idea. Okay. International standard type signs are there. You can see fragile, upside down, male and female, right and left. That type of things are international standard signs and the ideas. Think about that thing. That is the point. Without using any much more words, if you can explain something more than the words, is a really highly impact thing for society. Okay. Now, not only the symbols idea, think about science as an example that sounds or something. Sounds means no words, no, but that sound can communicate with someone. In the past, we use what thing? Hooting. We use hooting. Hooting. We use hooting. Why? Hooting is a sound usage. Hooting is a primary communication system, and hooting is a audio communication point. And that time, audio, hooting also symbolizing communication system now. Also, human voice, human voice, actually using a sign, actually using some kind of non-verbal symbolizing idea. You know the ambulance have ambulance, emergency services. They use a siren, horn, and the siren that lamp is there. That siren horn is a symbolizing idea. Why? Siren horn. If someone hear about that thing, automatically they know. Sometimes ambulance is there in a road or something. They put that siren home, and automatically drivers change their situations, and they give the chance to that ambulance to go straightly and go forward. Speed, divide, patient inside, patient inside. That's the thing. So that science we can use. Think about crossing, railway crossing, road crossings, double lines, some kind of boats are there, the village names, junction, so many words they use. Luminous color, that type of things. In the highway also we can see that the luminous, they use luminous paths to every area because highway is a highway. We can't go with the 50 or 60 in that highway. Speed range is 100 and 1 and 2, that type of thing. But mainly 100 is there. And that much no. So that's why other food cycles, so bicycles, we can't put for that thing because they put some symbols for that thing. Don't apply that type of things. Don't write in here. Put bicycles, tractors, and motorbicycles and free wheels because maximum speed high 100 means well, the bikes and three wheels and other type of vehicles actually getting accident or something because it can't control that thing. That's why this bicycle means two-wheel vehicle, and they put that thing before the entrance of the highway. They put this thing with luminous board color, green color thing. Why they put that thing? Without words, we have to know about that thing. This thing prohibited. This thing can't. This thing can't. No parking, no smoking, male, female, all the types of things are symbolizing communication ideas. All have signs. Signs we can see in there. That is good. So after that thing, same we can say that symbolizing ideas, sometimes we can use non-verbal ideas. Or both are same, huh? Non-verbal. Now, verbally means we have to express the words using a mouth, but non-verbal not like that. Non-verbal means this type of things. Mainly we use colors, shapes, signs, and logos, that type of things in there. There means this type of non-verbal communication idea. So, non-verbal communication and sign language, sight communication, symbolizing communication, all are same ideas. Okay. In the communication is symbolic. You can see some kind of examples I put in there with a frame. What are those symbols? What are those symbols? Signs are there, mudras are there, drawings are there, maps are there, alphabetical orders, alphabetical letters also there. Recently I told you, your handwriting is also communication. Your sign also communication. Because someone can understand easily without talking. This one wrote by this person. What is the point for that thing? Because they understand your handwritings or something. That is the point. So it's a really important thing. Okay. Okay. Examples, all things, please highlight. Then move to the other page, symbolizing communication idea. Okay. In here, symbolizing communication. Firstly, it's divided to two types. You can see that thing. I put that idea there. Two paths are there. Two systems are there. Two paths. Two systems are there. Normally, we know that the moving part of the symbolizing communication system. Symbolizing communication system, two parts. Okay, two main parts. First part, sign language. First part, sign language. Okay. Second one, body language. Okay. Sign language, second one, body language. So what are the signs we can see in here? Lot of things I told you recently. That's all things we can get to the what thing? Sign language. First one, road signals are there. Road signals are there. Road signals. So many signals we can see that turn left, turn right, junction, that type of area, bridge or something. Then speed bumpers or something in there. They put that type of signs in there. Then the drivers understand that. Okay. And road signals are there. Traffic and color lights. Firstly, I draw that thing in here. That three colors are mainly really important thing for explanations about the sign. Next one, emotions. Yeah. In the drama and theater thing, mostly dancing also same like that. In the drama and theater thing, mostly we use emotions and the facial expressions of the persons. And that facial expressions can explain so many things than sometimes words. So literary people understand that thing, but non-literary people sometimes you can understand that thing. Some people literacy rate totally low, not the high capacity level that people, and that people sometimes can't understand messages. They can't understand. According to that thing, you have to understand. Okay, how we cover that people's also. There's a literacy problem is there, but how we cover that people, how we cover that people's also, and how we get the attention for that people's also. That time really helpful for the emotions and performing ideas or something. It can motivate people. Then flags also there. Every school have a flag. Every country have a flag. That country have some shapes. That country have some colors in our Sri Lanka and maroon color. Some bowl leaves. You can see that four bowl leaves is there. And my team with Takona that thing indicated. However, the lion is there with his sword, and other two lions are there like orange color with the green color. It's for Tamil and other religious and nationalities. So think about that. That Sri Lankan flag also explain what the Sri Lankans, what are the mainly common things we use in Sri Lanka. Okay, flags really helpful for indicate, demonstrate what's your standard. We are organized to something. We can use that. Next one, uh, badges and school colors. Every school have some kind of a color, blue color, green color, mixed colors also there. They develop their type. They make their type. They make their flag also using these colors. Every school have a school color. Okay, that's why in the big bench or sometimes that sporty bench or something they use that two colors every time. Everything flags the flags or something, flex or something, posters or something, developing some Facebook post or something using that background school colors or something. Last thing, logos. Now, our class also, my class also, I use some kind of a logo. That's my uniqueness. You also, if you think about, you also develop some kind of business or something. If you have to put some kind of a logo, because how the peoples understand who you are without any logo or that type of thing. Think about. So that's why we develop a logo for what thing? For understanding. For understanding. Some logos we can't understand what that actually inside the idea. But think about Sri Lankan government logo. Government logo means that this type of idea you can see. This type of thing. Okay, you can see that type of logo in somewhere. Okay, is that in, okay, and in here also some symbols are there. This government registered that logo have so many meanings. That prosperity, organizing ideas, stability, so many things inside in the logo. But normally we can see just some colors with shapes. But inside that thing, there are so many ideas we can see. Okay. So logos are there. Next one, body language idea. This is not a color or shape or that type of thing. These logos, no, so not logos, this personality depend on your experiences. Okay, depend on your experiences. Depend on your experiences. Okay. Now body language, thinking, think about that acting, performing, that type of ideas belongs to what the this personality ideas. So after that, the personalities, the personality idea. And we have to understand. We have to understand. Principal or someone, prefect or someone, political leader or someone. Okay, society actor or actress or someone. They have to maintain their personality, and they have to apply that personality or current situation, proper situation, positive that type of situation. In three situations, okay, any situation, you have to face that situation using a personality. Okay, straightforward walking, talking, and fashion, that look, all the things add to the personality ideas. Okay, so body language mainly be the personality. Okay, next one, choreography. Choreography, choreography that dancing and dramatic things. Okay, in the dancing mainly choreography things are there. Choreography means making the arrangements and the making. You can see some there. Yeah, classical dancing choreographers are there. In Sri Lanka also, so many choreographers are there in the young generation. Ramos Malako, that type of people. Hip hop, that cool steps, that thing. Ramon Malak and that type of Ashan Fernando. That type of people are choreographers. They firstly they get the track and they develop some formations and they practice other people's and same day other people will do that. That's actually talent. So choreography is a talent. Choreography mainly focus for the dancing and the drama. You can write that. Next moves. Yeah. Now think about very famous moves we can see like Michael Jackson's moonwalk or something. Michael Jackson's these days also really popular because that Michael Jackson's movie come after the thing second movie also come. So according to that thing, we can see that moonwalk, slide walk, okay, that hat and the movements, dancing movements, all are actually insane. Actually, all are insane. Means totally is extraordinary. In that time, 1980s, 1990s, no anyone performing like that. That's why this Michael Jackson become the pop king. Now also, who's pop king in Europe? Michael Jackson. After that passed away, Michael Jackson passed away from that at 2009, 2009. Now we are 2026. But the thing is, very important point is passed away in 2009, no? Now 2026, no? But uh, last month, actually, after coming that Michael Jackson's movie, last month, people develop what type of idea? people mostly try to search the songs and the tracks again. Then after 50, Michael Jackson again, we can see again, he developed his popularity or something. So after that thing, people try to search more these songs. People try to search these tracks and videos. Then people try to do that. Some people imitate. Now, so many people are there, America also, other countries also. They imitate a moonwalk or something. They apply that thing for their dancing items or something. So that is the point. So moves, really important point. Moves, not only for dancing. Every person have some kind of movements are there. Think about that thing. I'm always using this type of movement. Sometimes this type of movement. Sometimes this type of movement. Okay, sometimes this type of movement. Sometimes this type of movement. Why? That is our uniqueness. Actually, we can't understand how it happens because it's unconscious thing. Consciously, if you handle that thing, that is not that moves, but it's conscious. It's not unconscious idea. But mainly our moves automatically something happens like that in this one or something. It's unconscious. Unconscious means we never plan that moves or something. Okay. The things, costumes and depend on the situation. Costumes and clothes according to the situation, according to the occasion. Right? Classical, low, that type of things. So smart, casual, that type of things. And mainly costumes really important for the actors and actresses, modeling people. And they changed speedily the costume and move to the other one. The dancing videos same like that. Sometimes some kind of persons participate for two, three items in the um, dancing competition or dancing a festival or something. Already they have to speedily change their costumes. Then they have to maintain time with the formation. So it's actually a great thing. You also can change that thing. Think about funeral or bana ගෙදර or that arms down together or funeral one, that type of thing. So what is happening? Okay, you have to apply your all the things according to the situation. Now you have to change your costume according to the funeral and the wedding. In the funeral, we mostly use white color and we don't put so many makeups and other things and other things. But nowadays, so some people do use that in that makeups and other things. But mainly, funeral means funeral. Wedding means wedding. In the wedding, we can use makeups and we can buy new dress or something. And so many things are there. But depend on the occasion. Nah? And funeral and the wedding, totally different. You have to change your clothes according to the situation. Now think about you go to the school or something. You have to use the uniform ideas. Some school give that thing. Some school they say this type of kit we want. This type of kit you have to dress. So that is the point. Take that. That is the point. That is the point. After that thing, postures are there. This belongs for the mainly photography. What idea. Okay. Sport photography you can see, and economical photographies you can see. Modeling based photographies are seen as there sometimes, and sometimes develop theme based photographies are there that Raphael in Sri Lanka you can see, and that type of concept based photographers also in here, Sri Lanka. So that is postures we can use for photographical things. Last one, behaviors. It's really good thing. Behaviors, it's depend on the occasion and the needs and requirements. What think about. uh, behaviors actually comes with your ideal people. Think about the ideal people means your role models. If your role model, father or mother or any other elder, their lifestyle and your lifestyle, sometimes so many same behaviors are there. Why? You're mostly familiar with that people and you catch something from them. Then you apply that thing with yourself. It's not a problem, but understand that is personalization idea. That is personalization idea. So behaviors. Sometimes some people learn, sometimes some people routine. You can see that. And that time you getting confused about that thing. Why they can't stop that thing? Why they can't silence the mobile or something? Why they can't? Why they use this type of things? Okay, you have to understand that thing. Behaviors. Behaviors indicate who you are. Okay. Behaviors demonstrate what's your previous goal. Behaviors demonstrate what's your desire, what's your plan, what's your object, what's your aim, what's your failure, what's your weak point. All the things we can get from what thing? Behaviors. So behaviors is a good thing without talking with someone, how you can understand what is society. It's a good point. So symbolizing ideas are okay now over. Okay. Now signs are there, body is there. Body mainly depend on the dancing, acting, drama, okay, that type of things. But sign language mainly for thing, manage, okay. Road, that logos are there, signs are there, symbols are there because it can regulate people. It can regulate people because it's a legal symbols and signs. So we use that thing as a formal communication usage in behaviors. The behaviors, it comes from your ideal people, and you have to understand that people do something like this. Okay, I also have to use this thing. But if you know that old system is wrong, please change the system and do something more. That's the point. So you have to understand that thing. You have to understand. Right. Next one, contextual idea. That is the last topic we discussed for today. Then we can do the another class. Next session we can explain activity and introduces ideas and other elements also. Today last topic is this thing. Communication is contextual. Contextual. Context means what? The background ideas. Background, background, okay. Surrounding, surrounding, or environment. Okay. Recently I told you nature of the communication. Actually, nature belongs to this thing. Sometimes we can use nature word also for this thing, no problem. Okay, right? Don't confuse for that thing because nature and the context background all are same. You have to highlight all the names in here. Surrounding background and environment. And this type of things. Now think about that thing. It's depend on your occasion and ideas. If you have some kind of experience about the communication, you can easily identify what are things we want to communicate with someone. Okay, it means types are there, language is there, technology is there, whatever. So many things are there. Now you can see what are things actually inside in the contextual idea. First, you have to that normally all things actually start from communication, communication, communication. But don't highlight communication, but same like nature, just highlight types firstly. Types. Communication types. Highlight types. Types. Highlight types. Okay. types. Then types. Main four types are there. Main four types. Main four types. Put back and right near to the types. Okay. Intra. Okay. Inter. Recently I explained intra, inter, group. Last one is mass. This one main four elements. Okay. Main four elements. Main four elements. Write down this intra, inter, group, and mass. Intra, intergroup, and mass. Okay. Okay, intra, intergroup, and mass. Not only that, uh, two other additional examples also there. Two other additional examples also there. Two other things, not the main. In the exam, if they ask, in the exam, if they ask, what are the main examples of the communication process of types of something? Intra, inter, group, and mass, you can write. Okay, but main, but they don't ask about the main thing, you can write these additional things also. So what are the additional things for that thing? First part is public communication, and second one virtual communication. Okay, virtual communication. What is public and what is virtual communication? Now think about the public idea. Think about the public idea. Think about the public idea means public places. Think about public marketplace or something. Public place, marketplace, bus stop, bus the stand or something, and some kind of bank, school, university, that type of areas, and mobile vendors or something. You know, the churung palm or something. Normally we use that word, but it's that not the word. Mobile vendors are there. Mobile business systems are there. That is public communication. Now, public meetings, political party meetings, marches, parades, sport meet, wedding, funeral, and now these days now the can be arranged for that these days they arrange all the things for the August as a Berahara. Berahara also actually a public communication idea. Public communication idea. So public communication is a mainly focused for the public needs and requirements. Okay, but that's not the main communication system at sub level. Now we use in this session, now we use virtual communication. Because you are in somewhere, I'm in somewhere, but internet can make a connection between your place and our place or something. And think about that is the virtual communication. High-speed transit systems are there and very attractive and effective. That's the point. So highlight the so types was the highlight inter group and mass main. These two things you can write public and virtual. Go to the next one. Elements of the communication. Normally you know what are the elements of the communication. Mainly today also. In the model I told us that recently. Model for that thing. Send a message to please highlight the elements and write down dash and write. Sender is the first element. Main four elements. Sender is the first element. Second one, message. Okay. Third one, channel. Last one, receiver. Okay. These four elements. Without these four elements, there's no communication system. Without this four, so you have to understand elements are there, but all the 8 elements depend on this four main elements. So highlight and write main four elements of the communication. Elements of the communication. The six elements are the mainly two. One way delay, one is two. That means it has reaction. Basically, I draw that thing for you. Get the point, huh? One way delay, two way delay. Next one. History of the communication, very simple thing. History means the first lesson also we discuss about the expansion of the communication. History is there. History means this thing, put bracket and write. Highlight history and put bracket and write. That is expansion, okay? Prehistoric to new era. Prehistoric era, new era. Prehistoric era to new era. Means AI systems in here, putting in here. Think about that. Think about that. That is history. And put this top of that much far. Last one, communication technology. Highlight the technology. Highlight. In the past, we used analog system technology. Now we can't use analog systems because now we have advanced high-speed technical systems. So if the two signals are there, the two types are there. Just highlight technology and write it down. Analog convert to digital. Okay. Now we use signals, not the analog signals. Okay. Now you can't use analog signals because analog only one single signal is there, but digital means two signals are there. Okay. In this one audio mainly, but this one video and audio both. Best example is television. This one best example is radio. Okay, right? That's the point. Right? That is the another thing we have to know about the contextual ideas. But if they are the right contextual idea, please write with all the concept based ideas because types, communication, history, theory, model, all the things you can write in there. We missed that one thing, communication models. Sorry for that thing. Huh? Model. In the model, you have written down something in there because I missed that. Sorry. In that contextual idea, you can see the models, no, just highlight the model and write down two model types are there. Linear, it means one way. Other one is non-linear, it means two way. This one way and two way means theory, no? According to theory, we develop this type of model. Okay, that is the point. Okay, that's the thing. So if they ask to explain context ideas, please use this all the topics and I give you all the examples for that with the small explanation. They ask about this thing and short answer. Short answer means 8 marks questions. It means half page answer. If they have to compare two things, now you have so many ideas. Now next day we can discuss about the activity and the heterogeneous ideas. Heterogeneous ideas, after that thing, we have to move to the one-way, two-way model idea, then the communication power idea, right? That's the thing. So according to this session, I have to give one homework for you. Please write down this thing with your homework that book, and next day, you have to send me with the WhatsApp usage and take a photo about the answer and please send it to me. But do this now, okay? Because after this class, please do that thing speed because it's really helpful for your memory. If you change that thing, if you miss that thing, and after 2 3 days or something, if you write that thing, it's not fair because if you write that thing now, your brain actually have helpful for that thing because you have now some knowledge about the nature of that thing. And that's the idea. So write the question, please. According to the write according to the process, according to the communication process, according to the communication process, according to the communication process, what are the main seven kind of natures? What are the main seven kind of natures? Main seven kinds of natures, seven kind of natures, seven kind of natures in our studies, in our studies, put a comma, put a comma, select two select of them, two things, and two things. So mainly I explain three things. Aims are the symbolic and contextual idea. Now you can select two things, then you can write. Please try the old examples because I gave you more examples. Finalize the answer and send it to me. And now you can write that. Please speed write that thing and send it to me before 9:30. Okay. So next time, thank you for joining. And see you next time. Next day, actually, 5 to 7 the class. Okay, today only for the extra thing because I have to come to the class from the Colombo. That's the thing. So next day, 5 to 7 class, and any changes are there. If I change sometimes, please I can send a message to you. And please find the answer and send it to me. Now you can write without now. First you read the passages and without looking at the handout, please write out this thing. And before 9:30, if you can send it to me, it's really good. Okay, right. Then good night. Bye. Next day we can move to the next topics. Thank you for joining. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.